Hello and welcome to Amethyst Star Crafting. My name is Jane Ormark and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And today I thought we would look at Peaceful Noel again. And we are going to create a fun background using one stamp, which is this little sort of splodge. So let me get that one out and pop it on a block. And we're going to put it on this one like that. And we are going to be using Tranquil Tide, Sahara Sand and Calypso Coral, because I think that will go together nicely and look quite bright. And the card we're going to use is a piece of Whisper White, which measures 5¼ inches by 3½, and then a mat which is 1/4 inch larger, which is going to be 5½ inches by 3¾ inches, and then a standard card base. So let's get started with our piece of Whisper White. We are going to need a scrap piece, which I've just got on here, because we need to stamp off, because we don't want the colour full strength. So we're going to start with the Sahara Sand. Let me move that to the side a little bit so it's not right in the way. And we are going to, the Sahara Sand we can have full strength because Sahara Sand is quite a light colour. So we're going to ink this up and we are just going to take this splodge piece and completely randomly just put it across your cardstock, because we want the base in the palest colour, and let's just take one like that there. Okay, so we need to clean it off in between each one, so the Simply Chamois comes out because it's the easiest way to clean things very, very quickly. And now we are going to take let's take the Calypso Coral. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to take, I've cut a few sentiments, so what am I going to use today? I always try and do a few sentiments ready for any project. Let's have How Beautiful a Day Can Be When Kindness Touches It. I really love this one and I love the font on it, and this is from the Enjoy Life. So we're going to just put this across the top because I want some of the background to come through onto the top. So we're going to take Calypso Coral and we are going to, it's quite a strong colour, we are going to stamp it off once. And then we are going to literally just put it through. Let's see, that's not too bad. We've got it just slightly off on here. So let me try and line it up a bit because we're going off on here. And what I can do is I can actually take this piece off and then line this up here because it's quite a large piece. We can do that. There we go. That's better. So we'll just pop that one in there again, and then let's ink it up again, stamp it off, and we'll put another one down in the bottom. Let me just get a piece of scrap paper under. No, I won't. I shall use another piece. So let's just put this one under here. And as I say, there is a little bit of a ridge on here. So if we find there's a space again, lift that mask off and then just line it up. Because it's a splodge, it doesn't really matter too much. And let's take, should we take another couple, ink it off. I'm going to take another one, maybe just down in on here, just overlapping slightly. And let's take, we'll take 1/3 strength and we'll put one just up on here, I think. So just like that. Okay, let me clean that one off. And then we are going to take, let's take the Tranquil Tide. Now the Tranquil Tide is a very dark colour, so I might have to stamp it off twice. We'll just see. So let's put that one on, ink it up, stamp it off. I'm going to turn it over onto that side, stamp it off once. I think it'll be all right. I think. Let's have a look. So I'm going to put one this way and say across onto that centerpiece. Now we are going to have a little ridge again, so just remove it, line it up, and then just put it down on there. And we can put that back in the center. Take another piece, stamp it off, and let's have that. I'm going to do it down in the bottom here actually. So put that down in the bottom. Oh, that's stamped perfectly. And then maybe a third generation just up in this corner on here. And maybe one more just down on the bottom there, just a very light one. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, let's just close this tranquil tied up again. Oops. Take it that way. I'm used to using the new ink pads now, and you have to get back to using some of the older style ink pads. Okay, and then we are going to just clean that off again. Now we are going to use our shimmer paint. So the nice thing with shimmer paint is that you can stamp with it as well. You do need only a little bit if you over ink it up, and my sponge dauber needs a bit of a clean, but I'm actually going to take it off of here because there's rather a lot round on the lid. So I'm just going to take some off the lid and up the top here, and you are going to literally just dab it. So you want to dab it across the ink pad, sorry, the stamp, and you want to, when you dab it, you want to blend it in as much as you can, so quite light little pounces. There we go, let's try that. Now we're going to put, let's put one across on here. Now again, we're probably going to get a double line because it's not going to come out on the inside, so I am going to take that off and just line it up so I can put it through again on there. Beautiful. And let's ink it up again. I might need just a little tad more, but again you can see how, let me hold it up here, you can see how it's very, very juicy because it's quite a wet substance rather than our ink pads, so you really need to go across it quite a few times to just make sure that that ink isn't too blobby, because otherwise it'll come out exactly as you want it. So I'm going to put another one just down on here in between. It's quite nice when it crosses over everything. Take that up. Oh, that's gone beautifully. And then I'm just going to try another one across on here. Just holding that down. That's lovely because that's quite pale. And then we'll take another one like this. Let me put it over here so you can see what I'm doing. Just taking a little bit, and as I say, when you first put it on, you need to work it in with quite light daubers. Okay, so where am I going to put another one? I think I might have some just coming off on, let's have a little piece up here. I think that will look quite nice. And this one again, I need to just move that off on there and put that one across on there. And then just with a little bit that's there, I'm going to just put a tiny piece coming off the side. Okay, so you can see now you've got all of this shimmer on there. Now, when you have used your shimmer mist, which is the Vegas Gold, you do need to go and wash your stamp fairly quickly. It's fine for the video, but as soon as I've finished, I will go and just run it through under the tap, because if you run it under the tap, then it'll clean it up perfectly. Okay, now shimmer paint does take a few moments to dry, so I'm going to be careful holding this. But what I want to do is I'm going to go round the outside with a sponge dauber with some tranquil tide on, because I want the definition between this time. So we're just going to take it round the side because we're matting it onto the Tranquil Tide, so I think it will work better rather than putting the gold round the side this time. I'm just going to put the Tranquil Tide on here. So let's just work it round on here, just giving a little border on here. It means the edges aren't quite so stark and white, and it helps to sort of blend it in to the cardstock you're using. If you're using pure white, then you want the contrast, but because we're blending several colours in together, we want those colours to go into the matte on the background rather than stand out a bit. So there we are, we've got that round on there. And I think I'm going to just leave it like that. Do I want to do something around the side of there? No, I don't on this one. Okay, so let's have a look at that with, we're going to put this up on dimensionals. So we need the large dimensionals for this. And again, I've just got to be careful because the Shimmer Paint does take a few more moments to dry than our ink, so I would normally just leave it for a few moments to let it dry, but obviously I haven't got time, so hopefully it's not, no, it seems to be okay. And let's take these off. We can then line it up with the centre, and it just makes a very pretty background using just one stamp and a few, take that off on there, a few of our inks. You can obviously do whatever combination you want, so I'm just going to put this round on here like that. Let's put that in on here like that. I think I got it the wrong way round actually, because I think my colours are toned up the wrong way, but you can get the idea of it anyway. And then we would put it onto a base. This is the Tranquil Tide, because I think it works quite nicely, and then onto the mat at the bottom. And you can see you have a really rather lovely background. And I will show you another one that I did earlier on. And this one, I actually just did it without having the matte on top or the sentiment on top. I did it just as a one layer. So if you have a look at this one, this is a little paler and more subtle, and I did go round the edges with the Shimmer Paint. The colours on this one was Pool Party and Powder Pink and the Sahara Sand again, and then the gold on there. So you can see you can actually get two very different sort of looks. You've got this sort of pale look. You've got this one which is a little brighter. You can tone in whatever colours you want, and you have a really fun background using just one stamp from the Peaceful Noel and Not for Christmas. I will be doing lots of Christmas stamps, but not in September. So thank you so much for watching me, and I do look forward to seeing you again. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please look at doing so, because I do post regularly, and hopefully there are lots of ideas for you. So thank you so much, and bye-bye.